Alert, alert! It's coming. I'm so excited. Hello! Did you hear the news? Everyone! In this video, we have a cover reveal. Okay, in all seriousness, I am going to reveal a cover in this video, and I think I might start with it. Okay, I'm too excited. Let me just back up and say, in this video, we're going to have 10 fun facts about the book to get you excited, hopefully, about it. And then also, I think I'm going to share the blurb, aka what the book is about right now, before I show you the cover. What if the evil queen was innocent before she was betrayed? In the realm of jinn, enchantments and magical abilities are conceived and often exploited. At 17 years old, Jezebel has developed a powerful shape-shifting gift, and she's determined to keep it a secret. When her friends find a portal to the human world, she reluctantly follows. There, she's tempted to embrace her gift. After all, no one but the humans will see. Unfortunately, one of her friends witnesses her secret, and he won't let it go. He pushes her to use her ability for his own selfish purposes, no matter the cost. But when he crosses a line, Jezebel hits her breaking point. How far will his betrayal push her? The Secret Gift is the first book in the Queen's Rise series, inspired by your favorite villains in Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Beauty and the Beast. It's a spin-off from the Stolen Kingdom series, but can also be read on its own. Over a century before the evil Queen Jezebel crosses paths with Ari, Rena, and Nesrin, she's just an innocent Ginny girl who was betrayed. If you love fairy tale retellings like the Lunar Chronicles and supernatural abilities like the Graceling series, you're going to love the Queen's Rise series. I also put the reading order below that, and if you want to read some reviews for the original, which was just as awesome, it just didn't have as much to the story, then you can definitely check it out on Goodreads. I'll link it below. But now, are you ready? Are you ready? Am I ready? Okay, get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Okay, do you got your drink? Feeling good? Feeling excited? Are we ready for this? Okay, all right, I'm just gonna show you. Here it is. This is the cover for the first book in the Queen's Rise series, The Secret Gift. And I wanted to share some fun facts, including the fact that I've just recently added over 13,000 new words to it. That's a bonus fact that I didn't include, but that I wanted to tell you because I just finished writing it and sending it off to my beta readers a few days ago. So just for reference, that's over 50 brand new pages. This story is so much bigger. I'm really excited about it. Seriously, I can't wait for you to read it. But now let's do our 10 fun facts. Here is what we're going to be sharing. We're going to go through them pretty rapid fire, so let's get into it. First of all, the genre. In case you didn't know, this is young adult fantasy, specifically fairy tale inspired. And I don't call this a retelling because while it is inspired by some fairy tales, and the Stolen Kingdom books were fairy tale retelling, or still are, they're still there, you can still get them if you're interested. But this series follows Jezebel, who is essentially the evil queen and the evil fairy in some of these fairy tales, which I'll get into in a second. And that particular character does not actually have like a full arc. They're not the main character of their story. And so in the originals, there's just not that much to retell. I would not consider it a full-on retelling. However, I would consider it something where I've pulled a lot of cool Easter eggs, facets, whatever you want to call them, from the original. Number 2, this is my 7th published fiction novel, or technically the first time it was published, it was my 7th. Say it's my 7th again because it's the same book technically. Number 3, the inspiration from those fairy tales that I mentioned are number 1, Snow White, and that's going to be mostly the first book. Number 2, Sleeping Beauty, which is going to come out a lot in the second book. And number 3, Beauty and the Beast, which is going to be heavily influencing book 3. And again, that would be the evil queen and the evil fairies in those books. One of the biggest questions that I've gotten from you guys is what are the tropes in this story? And so I just kind of brainstormed everything that might be considered a trope. Some of them you might know, some of them you might be like, oh, I didn't know that was a trope. Well, it is in this book. So we have villain origin story, evil queen, fairy tale inspiration like the poisoned apple, the mirror, and the old hag, as well as other Easter eggs from the previous series like the lamp, portals, shape-shifting, royalty in general, coming of age, people using you, bad choices made worse, slow burn romance for the series as a whole as well, extremely powerful hidden abilities, abusive home situation, keeping secrets. I don't know if that's a trope, but it's definitely a thing in this book and the whole series. Strong female lead, jinn. I don't know if jinn count as a trope, but they are very similar to fae and vampires, which are definitely tropey. So if you enjoy that type of books, you're gonna love the jinn. And last but not least, mermaids and dragons. So mermaids and dragons are in the Stolen Kingdom world, but mermaids are not actually on the page in this series, at least not yet, but dragons will be. All right, number 5, how many books in this series? This is a trilogy, so 3 books in this series. We have The Secret Gift, The Secret Shadow, and The Secret Curse. And this is just a bonus fact, but book 1 is basically completely done. Book 2, I have a full first draft and I'm working on editing it. And then book 3, I have about half of a first draft and I need to come back and finish writing the first draft for that. So it's almost completely written already. I just haven't fully fleshed out the ending, but I know what's gonna happen. And I jokingly call the series Jezebel's Secrets or the Secret series sometimes, but the actual series title is the Queen's Rise series. When I was looking up different potential series names, a lot of the stuff that came up with the name Jezebel was a very, very different genre. And same thing with Secrets. And so I was like, you know what? Those aren't quite YA, aka young adult, and let's find something a little bit more appropriate for fantasy, young adult fantasy. So the series title is the Queen's Rise series, and my patrons helped me by voting and coming up with ideas, so they helped me pick this title, and I think it's just absolutely perfect. It describes Jezebel's arc perfectly. Number 7, the names and how I came up with them for both people and places. So in case you didn't know, I am of the firm opinion that when you are creating different worlds, it really helps to base things off of the real world because it gives a lot more accuracy. It helps you to create something that feels more real when it's based on something at least semi-real, or sometimes mixing two very different things. Like for example, The Hunger Games was a mixture of a reality show and a show about starving kids in Africa, and mixing those two things. So believe it or not, there's a basis in reality there. And the Stolen Kingdom series as a whole, there's a lot of other cultures, but in this series, we are focused on mostly Jinn, and then one other culture comes in book 3, but the Jinn were based primarily on biblical stuff. So we're talking a mixture of Hebrew and Greek, depending on what I was in the mood to include. So that could be things like the Acropolis, where Jezebel lives, and sometimes their outfits look a little bit Greek inspired. They wear a lot of armor and the cool sandal laced up shoes. But I'm getting ahead, shoot. I'm going into more of the world building elements, which is the next one. Let me back up to the names of people and places, because again, it helps to base things on reality. So I did pull a lot of cool names like Jezebel from the Bible, in case you're curious. I know a lot of people have asked me how I came up with the names, and that's how. So we have Asher, Miriam, Philippa, and Simon are some of Jezebel's friends. Those are all Bible names. Actually, fast forward to the Stolen Kingdom series, one of my absolute favorite names ever is Gideon, and that is a Bible name. Another Jinn in the Stolen Kingdom series, I'm going on a tangent here, but I love his name, is Malachi, and a lot of people are like, how do you say that? It's Malachi. I just think that's a cool name. But coming back to this series, we also have Hannah, believe it or not. I know that one's a little bit more common, but that's a Bible name as well. And then also places like the River Mem, a river that goes through the floating city in the capital of Jinn. All right, now I kind of spoiled 8 already when I started talking about world building elements. I think names kind of go with world building, but again, this Jinni culture is based on a lot of Hebrew and Greek stuff. So I already mentioned the Acropolis and the way they dress, and they've got the cool gold armbands and stuff like that. But then there's also dragons and enchantments and spells, and specifically a portal to the human world, which we're going to get into a lot more in this book, but you can read a sneak peek about that in Gideon's short story, where I first created them and came up with them, which is linked in my newsletter as a free download if you want to check it out. It's just like 10 pages or so. Gives you a little bit of a sneak peek into this world. The last 2 on this list is the soundtrack and the 2nd edition. So I'm going to end with soundtrack because that's the most fun. But really quick, I did want to mention that this is a 2nd edition. So if you have happened to read the 1st edition, this is still going to have a ton of new stuff. Like I said, 50 new pages. So you may want to get it or you might not, and that's totally okay. It's up to you. If you don't want to get it, you can still go on to read books 2 and 3 and you won't miss anything crucial, but I've definitely added some really exciting fairy tale elements and relationships and time with the prince, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll stop there. But there's a really big scene at the end that is dang, it's huge. It's like, I'm really excited to hear what you guys think of it. But that's actually a whole other story, and you might have already seen the video on it. If you didn't, it's right here. I will link it below, and you can watch it after this video if you want to know more. But now let's end with the soundtrack for the series. And this one I was kind of nervous to share because I don't typically go and, you know, play a song on repeat while I'm writing this scene and then pick a new song for this scene. Like, they don't line up with specific scenes so much as they're kind of a vibe for the character, or sometimes it is for a scene and a particular mood that I'm trying to create. create, but in general, if it says to me, this is Jezebel, then I just start listening to it. And I don't, again, listen to like one song over and over. I just kind of play through the list and I get so familiar with it that it becomes kind of a background soundtrack and I can focus on the writing. So, okay, I do have actually a really big playlist, but I tried to pick my top 10 that felt actually most like Jezebel and kind of also hint at the story. After you read it, if you look at this list, you're gonna know exactly what each song is talking about. So let me know if it would be interesting for me to include that in either the book itself when I publish like a page for the soundtrack, or maybe I could create an exclusive page on my website for people who get the book. Let me know, because that'd be fun, but also it makes me a little nervous. Anyway, I kind of tried to arrange these in order of how they might go in the story. So the first one is Let You Down by NF. The next one is Bulletproof by XYLO, I think is how you say that. I don't know. I Can't Breathe by Bea Miller. When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish. Deep Water by American Authors. This Is It by Oh the Larceny. I think I'm saying that right. Your Name Hurts, Haley Steinfeld. Lose You to Love Me, Selena Gomez. One Last by Kieran and Nivi, I think. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then Glass Heart by, it looks like Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinez. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right either. I don't know most of these artists. I actually just put Spotify on like a playlist, like find more songs like this, and then I just keep finding new songs that way. But that is 10 fun facts about The Secret Gift and the cover reveal. I hope you guys liked it. I'm super, super, super excited about it. And if you want to stay in the loop and hear more fun things from me, such as probably I'll be sharing the first few chapters in the next couple months, then definitely sign up for my newsletter below. One last final bonus fact is that you can actually watch the cover design process of this cover, because my amazing cover designer, Mandy Lynn, is one of my good friends who actually records the design process. So if you are curious and would like to see start to finish how this cover was created, because we went through a lot of different options and it was super fun and very fascinating to watch, then you can go ahead and check out the link below to Mandy's video. So thank you to Mandy. I hope you'll go give her video lots of love. And also, in case I haven't said this already, I hope you will go check out the book. You can pre-order it on all vendors as of this video being live. I hope you'll go check it out. And if you're interested in the story, definitely pre-order it. It helps me out so much. Thank you so much in advance, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.
Then all of a sudden it became reality. Don't care about no gold, no one else to hit my phone up. None of that.